Picture this, you're sitting alone in a quiet room, and scattered sticky notes are all around you, and an endless to-do list. You stumble upon a video where someone is talking about their experiences. You feel connected to them. They know exactly what you're feeling and how you're feeling it. They know exactly what you're thinking, and you're drawn in. You never thought that this kind of video would captivate you, but it does. And you find yourself watching the endless videos that come up one after the other because you can't stop watching. And that is the magic of Elizabeth Filips videos.
If you are picking a brain and one listens to everything you tell it to do, works according to plans, sticks to schedules, is obedient and calm, and the second is a hellscape of chaos and obsession, everything seems to be built for type 1 brains.
She understands storytelling in a way that so many content creators have forgotten. Because at the end of the day, the way she tells stories is she connects with the audience. So who is exactly Elizabeth Filips if you've never heard of her? First of all, her story is interesting. She was a personal assistant to Ali Abdaal. But like Ali Abdaal, she was also a medical student. And she decided that she was going to pursue being a content creator as well as being a doctor. This is why Elizabeth Filips is an interesting content creator. Her videos always have captivating elements, visual aesthetics, and at the core of it, she understands how to tell a story in a way that is engaging and unique to that video that she's talking about. And this is what sets her apart. So today we're going to be diving deep into Elizabeth Filips and what we can learn from her. Because me as a content creator and as an entrepreneur, I want to learn more about the people who are successful and how I can incorporate that into my life. And I'm hoping you do the same. This video is all about helping you take all these elements so that we can learn how to become better content creators, better entrepreneurs, and start building an empire that actually lasts. What exactly is Elizabeth Phillips' secret formula? How does she manage to generate so many views on all her videos? Well, as I told you, storytelling. But there's something underneath the surface. Because when we look at it, being a content creator isn't easy. Let's be honest. 95% of YouTubers struggle. That 5% of YouTubers, only 1% have cracked a million and above. Whereas most YouTubers only get to 10 to 100K. And a lot of YouTubers struggle to realize that how to connect with their audience and how to stand apart. Because Elizabeth Phillips is interesting. She doesn't use flashy techniques. Her storytelling isn't outrageous. She doesn't use flashy gimmicks or high production sets. No, it's quite simple, and she's in the education space, but she manages to incorporate storytelling within that niche. Here's the thing that a lot of us ask ourselves. How can I connect with our viewers on a deeper level? And how can I stand out without being flashy or loud? And Elizabeth Phillips has done it to such an extent that she's someone we should follow as content creators. Not only that, but we should follow her as well in terms of being entrepreneurs, because storytelling is how we connect, right, with the world. It's how we connect with our audience. If you know how to tell a great story, if you know how to connect with your audience and be relatable, that makes you stand out a lot better because authenticity sells far more than outrageous sets and flashy gimmicks. There are three pillars to Elizabeth Phillips' storytelling technique. The first one is relatability.
I always recognized that sometimes I didn't feel like doing something, so I fell behind, and then I got interested in it, so I caught up, and then I got very interested in it, so I went ahead.
Elizabeth Phillips understands how to be relatable, and this makes us connect with her on a deeper level. In all her videos, she talks like she's sitting across from a friend, and she's just explaining something. There's a calmness and a stillness to her voice. The way she carries herself. She doesn't carry herself as a guru. Like if you compare Ali Abdaal to Elizabeth Phillips, her relatability is what sells her, right? And this is what draws so many people to her. Because within that relatability, she tells a story. She shows vulnerability. She shows that she, just like them, a few years ago, used to struggle with this. And that's something that I won't lie to you, I struggle with, because I'm always thinking to myself, am I too vulnerable? Am I going a little bit over the top? Is this necessary? Is this going to help someone? But revealing who you are as a person makes you far more human than someone simply watching your video and they not knowing anything about you. With my ADHD, oversharing sometimes can be difficult, but so can undersharing. Like, I always have to figure out the balance. Like, am I saying too much or am I saying too little? So it's a difficult conundrum that we all face, right? How do we be relatable? How can we share without oversharing? The second one is visual aesthetics. Elizabeth Phillips has found a way to take Ali Abdaal's way of visual aesthetics and make it her own.
Talked about the 5 mindset shifts that really help when it comes to time management, but in this video we're going to be talking about the 5 biggest drains in time.
This really doesn't work for everything, and you would be 100% right. I think the toughest pill for me to swallow, especially as a competitive person, is the realization that there are certain things in life that I will just never be good at.
Because when you compare the two, it's visually appealing. Their videos are mesmerizing to watch. The visual cues make it a lot easier for you to understand what you're watching. You also know that Elizabeth Phillips' visual cues are very different from Ali Abdaal's. They're her own. And this is what makes her stand out even more. She's not trying to be Ali Abdaal. She's just being herself. Number 3, emotional depth. When we connect with someone, we connect with them on a profound level. And when we hear their story, we hear their story on a profound level. Because why do some content creators get millions and millions of subscribers and others don't? It's to do with emotional depth. Do you relate with that YouTuber? Do you relate with that content creator? Do they inspire you? I remember a few months ago, Vanessa Lau went on a break. It was actually the beginning of this year. And for the longest time, she was quiet. No one heard anything about her. And then she released her video 4 months later, right? And a lot of people were shocked. Vanessa Lau, who had been doing YouTube for several years, needed to take a break. She had burnt out. And often as content creators and entrepreneurs, sharing that vulnerability, that yeah, me too, I burn out. Me too, I lose motivation. Me too, I struggle. It's difficult because there's a part of you that feels if you share too much and expose yourself, no one is going to listen to you. Because you want to be a guru, right? You want to be the top dog. You want to be the person everyone can rely on. But the reality on the ground is we're not Superman or Wonder Woman. We break, we fall apart, and that is life. And the whole process of life is being able to get up again once you're down. And sharing that emotional depth with someone makes you connect with a person that's facing the same thing. And that's the thing about Elizabeth Phillips. You connect with her. You connect with what she's going through because you are going through it as well. You connect with all the stories she's telling because you're going through them. So when she says that I struggled studying, you're like, what? This brilliant woman who's read all these books, who is a fantastic storyteller, who graduated from a top school doing medicine. How can she struggle with studying? How can she struggle with learning? And once she tells you that, there's a sense of relief because you know that you're not in it alone. So what exactly is Elizabeth Phillips' secret formula? It's simpler than most people's secret formula. Her secret formula is simply telling stories, even if it's an educational video. Her simple formula is hooking people with a captivating visual aesthetics. Her simple formula is connecting and being vulnerable with the person across the screen. And there's a lot we can learn from that as content creators and entrepreneurs. Using the art of storytelling to connect and be relatable and be vulnerable. It's something that we can use to build a better business, to build a better channel, to create a legacy built on something more than just being the face of a channel or the face of a company. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned every week for the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be releasing one video on a content creator who's crushing it on YouTube. And there's a lot we can learn from that. There's a lot we can gain from that. So if you are interested in learning what we can learn from top people like Ali Abdaal, Vanessa Lau, and the list goes on and on, please stay tuned. Alright?